This is a person I really look up to and admire. Someone who has taught me a huge amount. Just a really noble person with so much to show me and so much to share with me. And I'm deeply honored to know Reverend Miilhan Stephens. His church was actually having a big event in Las Vegas. So he flew from Las Vegas directly to DC so he could come here to speak. His church was heavily involved in making what you see here happen. His church was very key in making sure that Donald Trump was able to visit. And they have been advocates of the peaceful reunification of the Korean Peninsula for quite some time. And I don't want to steal any thunder from Reverend Miilhan. I know
Say as much as you want.
he's got a lot to say, but I guess I'll just say the founder of his church was someone who was arrested and imprisoned in North Korea. And then after the fall of the Soviet Union, went and met with Kim Il-sung, the founder of North Korea, and forgave him for the persecution that he endured, and talked about how the two countries could work together, and then began to do quite a bit of business in North Korea, and became a heavy investor in North Korea, which is something that the American government is certainly not thrilled about, and something that the South Korean government has also not been thrilled about in the past. But despite all the persecution that they have faced, they have continued to advocate peaceful reunification of the Korean Peninsula. And I must say that, a lot of what we did in New York City with this banner would not have happened without Manhattan Family Church. It was their assistance and their support that got this banner on the streets of New York City, got out in front of Madison Square Garden when Trump had his great rally. So I'm really honored to know Reverend Miilhan Stephens. I'm really looking forward to hearing what he has to say. So come on up, Reverend, and thank you for coming all the way from Massachusetts.
Caleb, what an amazing platform. Yes. And not just the height of this thing, but really the honor is mine. I think you've done all the work, honestly, and I think what was said before about you is I totally echo. You've been able to parse through all the madness of the world, find the truth, and give it to us hours and hours every day. So, of course, please give him a big hand. He's right where are you guys? I will tell you how we first met. It was unforgettable. He came into our church and he had his Bible, I think it was King James Version. And he's like going through every verse that I was putting up on the screen. And my assistant pastor was very suspicious of him. He thought he was some kind of persecutor. Because he would get that. As you mentioned, he was in prison in the U.S. too. He was put in Danbury prison on false charges. And so we're used to being persecuted. So here we go. And so we were praising extra loud that day, chasing Satan out after they're like, and I meet Caleb, he's talking really fast. And we've had con people come through. We're in Manhattan, right? So you get all kinds of people in the church. He's talking really fast. He's like, oh, he's a journalist. I'm okay, and I even told you this, like, dude, you gotta slow down because you sound like a con man right now. But that's how it started. And I guess what really started was the fact that we had a common enemy. And I never thought I'd make a friend because of a common enemy. Because I'm always about loving your enemy and marrying your enemy. Everyone's really big about marrying your enemy. But to have a common enemy actually brought us together in the beginning. I won't mention names or anything. I'm not good with names anyway. I just offer it over to God, and I'm glad in this opportunity to meet. But Caleb and CPI is the voice, the truth, and another word for peace and truth. It's so refreshing because, if I watch Fox or CNN, it's for entertainment. For Caleb, it's like 20% entertainment and 80% truth. And I think this is, our country has to grow up and listen to the truth and not just be, like you said, fallen personalities and things like this. And Caleb taught me so much about communism, socialism. Because if you know about our church, the Unification Church, we're a very big anti-communist, movement that we violently, we're having fistfights in the streets. That wasn't my generation, but Caleb really helped me understand there's really a big other side of this story, and everything. In fact, every conversation we've had was completely new for each of us. Everything Caleb said was completely new. And anything I said was going to be all, well, you've already read the books, but anyway, English new. Okay. I had some things I wanted to say. Oh, how was the Trump, the inauguration? How do you feel?
I feel great.
What are some words? Great. How positive. Positive.
Stoked.
Stoked. Oh, energizing. Homer.
Nervous, a little nervous.
That's true. I like that.
Yeah, in Mexico because I have family members who are Mexican.
It's true.
I think it was like cautious excitement. I like that sometimes. Yeah, it's out there. But no, yeah, that's a good one. That's how I feel too. And but I have noticed since we put those banners up in New York. Maybe it's just me, but I've been hearing peace get to the top of the agenda. Before it was all kinds of whatever, drama was going on, but now they're proud to say this is a peace presidency. And even Trump said it today, because, he read his statement, but sometimes he would add something afterwards, right? And when he said he wanted to be the president of peace and unity, I think that was real. I think he really wanted to make sure we understood that. And I do believe, as Caleb has once said, or maybe many times before, that we can't change the world, but we can move it in the right direction, just nudge it over. And I think you did. Let's give ourselves a hand. CPI. Yep. There's struggle. There's struggle. Only peace can make America great again.
That's right.
You think that was just one of the things to say? You just say that, right? I think that's it. Yep, good rule of thumb. I also want to thank all the people who went out this morning. I don't know if you want to stand or Caleb, you will acknowledge them later. But
everyone went out.
I got to see you go out and come back. And Brian was so cold. The house could have been turned on twice the heat to kind of get back to normal. The bed is probably was not enough to warm back up. Jesus. Jesus loves him. By the way, do you feel God is with us?
Yeah.
Which God? The one inside your heart. Gosh, there is anyway. I believe that. And with whatever discernment that God has given me, I really believe God is with this not so small movement. And that's all God needs. That's all God ever needed to make for a change. So why am I here? Besides Caleb's invitation, is I love my family. I love my children, my wife, my community. And I want to make it as impossible as possible for us to have a world filled with war, with woke nonsense. I almost cried listening to Trump say, there's two genders. Sorry, forgive me if I'm a pastor, right? So I'm allowed to say this. There's two genders. And when I heard that, I can't tell you how, I have to talk to the principal of the school to just I need to understand something. Like, they couldn't indoctrinate my kids or not, because I can teach my kids the basics of reading, writing, if I have to. But I love this country. I grew up in the public schools, and I want to be able to send my kids to public school and have that experience, and just needs to just focus on what they actually need educated on. Yeah. So I'm really excited. And this is the movement of action. That's no question. Being a, I can say Mooney, but you guys can't say Mooney. Yeah, but as a Mooney, we've been persecuted a lot. And so I identify with Caleb. We're not afraid to speak the truth. I won't get into it too much, but we said some very unpopular things. And on top of our persecution, Caleb's not afraid of that. And that's why we trust. And thank God for the president who was persecuted and was killed. His honorary president. And like Brian's saying, right? This was like this is the people's FU to, whoever thinks they run the show. So I'm excited that the families are put in the center again. Families are put in the center again. The people who make this country great. All right, I'm going to preach a little bit here. I want to talk about 3 things that I want to leave you with. If I can leave you with anything, that's peace, unification, and innovation. I love this word, Caleb. I'm going to use it more. Okay, if you watch my sermons online, you'll hear me talk about innovation more. Okay, I promise. Peace. We kind of take this for granted. It's a word we think we all can define. As it turns out, everyone's peace is a little bit different. And sometimes those little differences create wars, ideologies. And so I think it's very important for us to be clear with myself, what is peace? And so I hope you could take a moment to really reflect on that and share it with other people. Because your position on peace is different, but it needs to be said. And then what we have to do is put it all on the table, see what we had in common, and make sure our elected leaders focus on those things. But if we don't speak up, then they won't know. So it's really important. That's peace. Now, there's no peace without unification. Unity. That Venn diagram that a certain VP loves so much. We have to make those. That's where we have in common. And that's very important because we can, like Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. said, we can either live together as friends or die as enemies. I forget. You know what I'm talking about. Okay, yeah. Forget it, Dr. King, whatever you want. But we have to come together somehow. It's a must. And then I'd say there's no unification without innovation. It takes an incredible amount of creative energy to bring people together.
Yes.
Right?
Yep.
It's hilarious. People whose purpose is to divide, so lazy. There's really no creativity involved in that. I'm starting to say that my 2-year-old can do that. For making chaos, but I just got a report from home saying that she put paint on the bedroom door. It doesn't take any creativity to it takes your whole heart and soul and mind and intellect and willpower to bring people together. And I'm telling you, only the truth will bring people together, right? So no matter how smart we are and kind of try to work up corners and things, only the truth will bring us together. And again, CPI is 10 years ahead. Is 10 years ahead. I know that because you're also, we have a similar agenda, so there must be. You must be definitely true about it. And so innovation, I want to talk about 1 Corinthians 3:9. We are co-creators in God's service. You are God's field, God's building. So it's really an honor and a divine role to be human, to innovate. It's our responsibility. It's not a nice thing, but it's our responsibility. And if we don't innovate, chaos, wars are just thrown. Because I'll tell you what, the biggest killer is boredom. Yeah. You have these bureaucrats or whoever, any of us, you and me. Boredom, that's what it's just they start getting weird ideas. Coming up with problems that that aren't helpful at all. Like I preach this often saying, I think that our goal is to create the right problems or to find the right problems. Not create ones that really are not going to help families. And then John 14:12, very truly I tell you, whoever believes in me will do the works I have been doing, and they will do even greater things than these, because I'm going to the Father. So, we've had some confirmations even in the last 24 hours that God is here. Even on my lift over to the Airbnb where we were at, but this lady, God bless her, she's like, can I take a conference call? And I said, sure. And there was a prayer call. And on that call, there were 9,000 people praying at the same time, for our country. And I'm sure for the protection of this event today. Even this event today. They believe. I felt that. And I was telling her what I'm about to do. And she's so inspired. And we thought, we're not alone, is what I'm trying to say. We're not alone. It may seem like that, but I'm telling you, there are a lot of people who are quiet, who are just once they see Caleb's face and they start hearing some things, then maybe they'll feel, okay, actually, the truth is going to come. And we could finally have world peace. Finally, I want to say, I believed and prayed for world peace my entire life, but it wasn't until I met TPI that I know world peace is possible. I can see world peace in all our time, in my lifetime, and especially my children's lifetime. So thank you again, Caleb. Thank you, CPI, and thank you all for being here. God bless you.